bookworms, welcome in. Today we're going to be talking about my June TBR. I'm really excited for this one. So I kind of cheated a little bit, and instead of like finding something to pick my books for me or, choosing them with you, I've already kind of picked them and I'm just going to tell you what they are. Okay, so it's not like the most exciting TBR video because I already know what I'm reading, but you don't. So okay, since it's Pride Month, I want to do a rainbow TBR. And all of the books I've picked are either about or written by queer authors. I just think this is so fun. Anyway, okay. The first book on my June TBR is Red, Fake Shot by C.E. Ricky. This is the 5th and final book in the Leighton U series. This is male-male hockey romance. This one follows Camden and Logan. So one of the characters in this book is the brother of one of the main characters in the first book. The synopsis says, "We fake it, but it's still me who breaks it. The past year living with Camden Steele has been hell on earth. He's more court jester than NHL-bound goalie, only making time for hockey and hookups. Too bad his blasé playboy lifestyle has caught up with him. Now he needs a tutor, not to mention a major reputation boost. And as it turns out, I could use a fake boyfriend, so we strike a deal. Having loathed hockey my entire life makes it a tough sell at first, but the real undertaking is accepting the truth. That we're opposites in many ways, he and I are not all that different, and somewhere between the study sessions and shared secrets, what started as make-believe becomes the realest thing I've ever known. That is, unless my lies end it all before it can truly begin." I love fake dating, and I already like most of the characters in this book, all the side characters anyways, because they've all had books previously written about them, so I'm really excited for this one. And it's kind of thick. Like, it's thicker than any other book in the series. So also, this is available on Kindle Unlimited. The whole series is, if you want to check it out. I love all of them. The next book on my June TBR is Orange, and I kind of cheated with this one. It's like a mixture of red and orange, but I'm gonna say it counts. It is The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. I think this is like a spin-off of the Darker Shades of Magic trilogy, and I loved that by her. It was amazing, so I'm really excited to read this one. The synopsis is a little lengthy, so bear with me. A new door opens. Once there were 4 worlds nestled like pages in a book, each pulsing with fantastical power and connected by a single city, London. After a desperate attempt to prevent corruption and ruin in the 4 Londons, there were only 3. Grey London, thriving but barely able to remember its magical heritage. Red London, ruled lately by the Maresh family, flourishing and powerful, and White London, left to brutality and decay. Now the worlds are going to collide anew, brought to a dangerous precipice by the discoveries of 3 remarkable magicians. There's Kosika, the child queen of White London, who has nourished her city on blood and dreams, and whose growing devotion to both is leading her down a dangerous path. Then there's Delilah Bard, born a thief in Grey London, who crossed the worlds to become a legend far from there. She's an infamous magician, a devious heroine, and a risk-taking rogue, all rolled into one unforgettable package. Having disappeared to seek new adventures, an old favor now calls Delilah back to the dangerous port, to join some old friends who need more help than they realize. Last, there is Tess, a young runaway with an unusual and powerful ability, hiding out in Red London while trying to stay out of the limelight. Tess is the only one who can keep all the world from unraveling if she manages to stay alive first. Very excited for this one. And it's chunky. Next up on my June TBR is Yellow, and I kind of cheated with this one. So the title is Yellow, but I don't really have any like yellow books on my TBR. So this is Fellow Travelers by Thomas Mallon. I saw clips of this on TikTok for the show and I really want to watch it, but obviously you've got to read the book first. The synopsis says it's 1950s Washington, D.C., a world of bare-knuckled ideology and secret dossiers dominated by personalities like Richard Nixon, Lyndon Johnson, and Joe McCarthy. Enter Timothy Laughlin, a recent college grad and devout Catholic eager to join the crusade against communism. An encounter with a handsome State Department official, Hawkins Fuller, leads to Tim's first job, and after Fuller's advances, his first love affair. As McCarthy mounts a desirable bid for power and internal investigations focus on sexual subversives in the government, Tim and Fuller find it more dangerous to navigate their double lives. Moving between the diplomatic world of Foggy Bottom and NATO's frontline in Europe, Fellow Travelers is a searing historical novel infused with political drama, unexpected humor, and genuine heartbreak. Very excited for this one. Next up on the June TBR is Green, and I picked Never Will I Ever, another book by C.E. Ricky. This is a standalone, but it also is like a spin-off of Don't You Dare by her, because one of the main characters was in that book and he was a bully and you hate him, and then now he's got his own book. The synopsis says, a teammate's betrayal, a banishment, a secret revealed. That's all it took to unravel my life at the seams. The punishment for my past mistakes goes further than expulsion, and penance can only come from the worst hell imaginable. Summer camp. Well, that's a little dramatic, but okay. 10 weeks spent wrangling a bunch of kids is bad enough, only to get worse when I meet my new co-counselor, the backstabber himself, Caleb Lamont. Being forced to coexist adds more tension to our already shaky foundation, but it also pushes us to uncover deeper parts of each other, until animosity becomes a feeling far more dangerous, an attraction so potent I lose sight of why I'm stuck in the wilderness to begin with. And if I'm not careful, I might lose something else entirely, like my heart. This and Fake Shot is the only books left by C.E. Ricky that I have on my physical TBR that I haven't read by her. I've read every other book that she's written except for these two, so I'm excited for this one. It's been out for a while and I haven't gotten to it, but I'm excited. Next up on my Rainbow June TBR is Blue, and I picked Finest Kind of Fate by J.J. Mulder. So J.J. Mulder is one of my very favorite authors. I found her 2 years ago. I got one of her books because it was on Kindle Unlimited, and I freaking loved it, and since then I've read everything she's written. So she has the, what's it called? She has the series like Shots on Net, and it's like a male hockey romance series, but all the characters are in college. And then she's got another series. I don't know what the series is called. I'm blanking. I'll put it up on the screen. It's male queer hockey romance as well, but it follows older hockey players in the NHL. And then they both kind of tie in together because one of the characters in the third book of her first series, that where the characters are older and in the NHL, he's the coach of the college hockey team. And so like he asks some of the characters to come and like help him with summer camps and things like that for the college, and so you see all them in the college series too. I honestly, other than the Colchester U series by Ian Finley and Saxon James, I've never loved characters so much. J.J. Mulder just has a way of writing characters that you really care about and really love. I've loved every single book that I've read of hers. I just really get invested in them. So she put out a new book. This is going to be the first in a series, and it's male romance, but it's not hockey, so I'm excited to see what she does. But the synopsis says, I think you pronounce it Ewan. I hope I'm not butchering that. E-W-A-N. Fate left home 7 years ago, never intending to stay gone. Now he's wondering how he'll ever manage to go back. When an extended creative block and inability to paint puts his career in jeopardy, he packs his bags, ignores his doubts, and travels up to the East Coast. The sleepy little fishing town of Sirens Point isn't so sleepy when Ewan comes back to town. Nothing much has changed since he's been away. The locals still gossip, the lobstermen still haul traps, and Shiloh LePage is still the love of his life. Shiloh spends his days on the ocean and his nights alone. He feels stuck in a relationship that has gone stagnant. He misses a childhood friend that he hasn't spoken to in 7 years and should have long given up on. He doesn't know what else to do, so he simply goes on. Ewan is supposed to be on vacation, he's supposed to be relaxing, and if he's lucky, finding himself again. But all he's found is a rekindling of desire that never quite went away, no matter how many miles he put between himself and Shiloh. Now back in Sirens Point, he finds himself confronted with old fears, new choices, and the realization that some things will never change. Next up on the Rainbow TBR is Pink. I picked Solitaire by Alice Oseman. The synopsis says, my name is Tori Spring, and that's Charlie Spring's sister from the Heartstopper series. I like to sleep and I like to blog. Last year I had friends, things were very different I guess, but that's all over now. Now there's Solitaire and Michael Holden. I don't know what Solitaire are trying to do, and I don't care about Michael Holden, I really don't. Sorry if you can hear my neighbor mowing. But I just bought all of these when I bought Heartstopper and haven't read it yet, so I picked that one. And then last but not least, there's Purple, and I picked Loveless by Alice Oseman. Again, it's in that series. Georgia has never been in love, never kissed anyone, never even had a crush. But as a fanfic-obsessed romantic, she's sure she'll find her person one day. As she starts university, Georgia makes a plan to find love, but when her actions wreak havoc among her friends, she questions why romance seems so easy for other people and yet not her. With new terms thrown at her, asexual, aromantic, Georgia is more uncertain about her feelings than ever. Is she destined to remain loveless, or has she been looking for the wrong thing all along? So that's my June Pride TBR. A little bit of romance, a little bit of fantasy. I'm excited. I think this is going to be like the best month ever. Let me know what you're reading in June below in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching and hanging out with me today. And I'll see you in the next one. And in the meantime, I'm sending forehead kisses and good reading vibes. Bye!